question comes from Bill Shammert. Bill.
Let's move to the topic of artificial intelligence. Nebraska's brought bills to address AI, its use in the public sector and in political advertising. Other states are passing AI laws. There is a concern by some that this will lead to a patchwork of laws that could eventually crush the use of AI in interstate commerce. What legislation would you support in Congress when it comes to artificial intelligence?
Senator, you have a minute and a half.
Well, one, this is a real issue. And I actually think it's probably a very bipartisan issue that we should be working on. I've worked in the legislature on issues of having to deal with how AI is impacting our day-to-day work. We've been part of committee hearings and interim studies, and it's clear we do need a framework of law in Congress to make sure that we are reacting, actually trying to be as responsive as possible to this policy issue, because it is very quickly developing right now. Doesn't matter if you're using AI right now in the work that you're doing, or you're using AI through social media, or for something that you are potentially working on your personal life. But AI is basically within our hands, within our phones. But it's also really concerning because we're seeing these really deep fakes. We're seeing it in politics. And people trying to impersonate other individuals. And also the concern of AI that I do have is making sure we're also advancing technology, but also making sure we're generating the kind of jobs that lead in this sector, and also protecting the kind of jobs and a lot of labor and union jobs, so we make sure that we are not going too fast, too quick. So I want to work on this issue. It's very clear to me that there's more that can be done. We need a framework, a policy framework. It has to be working in hand with many in both the AI companies and individuals like the ACLU. Both sides can come to the table. This is what I want to work on.
Senator, thank you. Congressman, minute and a half.
I just want to touch back on the previous question, since I got to correct the record once again. The bill that he's referring to doesn't even mention the word abortion in it. And it's a statement of principle that the unborn child has rights. And I think most of us do agree with that at some point, right? Secondly, for a person who makes this the #1 issue, abortion on demand until birth, when he had a chance to vote on a bill in 2020 on abortion, he voted present, not voting. I just got to keep stressing this to the listeners out there. 20% of the time, he does not vote. He says he's from the working class. Working class people get fired when they don't show up 20% of the time. Now, AI, I am the Cyber Operations Subcommittee Chairman. I've been that way for about 3 months now. I have the cyber offense and defense for the military. I also have the AI portfolio and electronic warfare portfolio. The big thing we need to do right now as a government is not get in the way of industry. We got to have industry working on this and finding the discoveries, doing the programming, doing the quantum computing, because if we get in front of that and hinder it, and China gets this first, they can break all of our codes. Whoever gets AI first at a significant level will be at a significant advantage in any conflict. I also think, though, that we got to protect against the deep fakes. We can't have someone misrepresenting someone and making up a total fabricated story. There should be legislation to protect against that.
Congressman, thanks. I would implore you both, as you look at your rebuttal, the question is, what legislation would you support on AI? That's the issue. What legislation would you support? Senator, you have 45 seconds.
I will work on legislation that addresses not only the deepfakes, we can agree on that, and also working in hand to make sure there are better protections for youth, better protections on our social media apps. We have to do a lot more. But I do want to make sure to respond because Congressman Bacon is bringing this up. 2 things. One, I think it matters that I've passed more than 70 bills into law, have been named a taxpayer defender, and voted for $6 billion worth of tax cuts that actually put money back in your pockets. When Congressman Bacon shows up, he votes to raise taxes on the middle class. He's actually defunded the police, 30,000 federal law enforcement officers. He said no to funding them. And he does everything he can to take a women's choice and is extreme on abortion with no exceptions whatsoever.
Senator, thanks. Congressman, 45 seconds on AI.
Again, I counted 4 different lies in this statement. Why would the police support me 100%, Tony, if I was actually for defunding the police? I mean, is this crazy? On the AI side of it, we can't agree on the deep fake stuff. We got to protect against people outright lying about other people and putting their face and image on it. But I think more importantly, and this is where I have a huge role, the military has to be able to procure from these companies and be able to do it more quickly. Right now, it's a 4 or 5 year process to procure from commercial companies in Silicon Valley. It's got to be able to be done that year so that we get the latest technology, and then that funding helps fund AI research. And right now, it's too difficult for the military to procure off-the-shelf technologies, and that's going to be one of my top goals in the next Congress to fix.
Congressman, thank you.